Hello, Kim McGillis coming you live from Ontario. I was going to say Regina again. Am I going to get this into my head? It is noon Eastern time. If you're watching live, please say hello. And if you're catching the replay, please say replay. I would love to know. We've got a fun collection to play with this week. It's the Scenic Adventure. It includes lots of beautiful dies, which I have a little bit scattered all over the place this morning. I've been having so much fun. It's crazy. So we're on day, I think, 3 today of this entire collection. And today, remember I said when I design some cards with this collection, I was like, I have a theme in mind. Well, my theme is camping. So I can't wait to show you something adorable today. And you'll want to stick till the end because it's going to get better and better. So maybe I should log on here to see if we have some people on live. I feel like the more that I create, the more ideas come to me when I'm creating with a bundle. So I don't know if you feel the same way, but that's how I feel. Today's going to be pretty cute. We're going to do this little card with a coordinating. I want to show you something else, a little surprise for later. Now, let's catch up on the first day. I think we did on Tuesday. So these were our, little ombre card, and then I showed with both different dies, and there was a little bit of a couple of different features. So that was our Tuesdays. It's already posted on my page, so you could just look at kimmcgillis.com and you'll get to see this one. Yesterday, which I believe was 25th, it was all about the reflection card. Now, I did come on to a little snag when we made this one, but I figured exactly what was going on. It's because when I did my line in the reflection, I had 2 little pieces of paper, and also it's preferably better to use this backing. So if you go back and look at the video, you'll get to see that. Love the little Polaroid card, and I think I need to make it in every single season, so that's been great too. Now today I'm switching it up a notch. My colors are going to be way different. Today we're going to be focusing with the basic beige, a little bit of old olive, mossy meadow, early espresso, and I'm still going to continue with the peach pie. So we're going to keep that. So now that was my little recap. The first thing that you'll need, and I think it's one of my favorite things to do, you've probably seen me do this over and over, but we'll need a piece of basic white cardstock. I went ahead here, and we're just going to use maybe half a sheet, so 5.5. So I'm going to grab my 5.5 sheet. Now, you know that I love watercoloring. We'll be needing lots of colors. So I'm just going to sit down so I have a little bit more room. Hello, Karen. How are you? I just want to move this a little closer. Here we go. Sorry for my little cracky chair here. We were laughing about that. Got a crappy. So I'm going to go with Mossy Meadow because I am going to add some water to my cardstock. If I'm using Old Olive, I feel like it pulls like that yellow color, and I don't really want that yellow color. Now I'm doing something different. You know, yesterday when I'm using my blending brushes, I always start off. This time I'm not. I want you to add lots of greens, but also to have darker areas. So that is intentional. I do want you to have those darker areas. So this is a time where it's not perfect is awesome. So I just want you to do that. I'm going to leave myself a little bit of a space for other colors. So I don't mind, go crazy, spread it how you want, it doesn't really matter. So that's my first step. My second one, I'm gonna use early espresso. I want you to do a little tiny second espresso on that 5.5 by 8.5 sheet. And again, don't really matter, it could be dark, light, whatsoever. So for today, like it's been crazy weather. We haven't been able to go outside too long with my little white golden retriever because if we go outside then it's too warm. It's the first cool day. It's cloudy. I don't know what your weather is like where you are, but that's how it is. Here I have peach pie. Once again, I need like a little tiny area of peach pie, not too much. So I'm just gonna add this there. Right here. Make sense? We're good? I hate that I never see if there's any comments. If ever you're watching me live, I'd love to know. Sometimes like it goes on very well and then other times you can't see it. Okay, so now next step. I have new water painters, old water painters, whichever you want. If you don't have a water painter, I suggest that you just flick on some water. It doesn't really matter. If you have a little brush, you could do so. But this is to create that watercolor effect cheating look. So this is what I'm doing now. Now we could go on and on with this sheet and reuse it. So that's what I do. I tend to keep them. And then you'll let it dry. So you could take a heating tool or just let it dry on its own. I normally tend to let it dry on its own. So you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, this is so green, but that's exactly what I wanted. So we are supposed to tap. I often go and add my specks like this. It can damage your tip if ever you do that, but I do want some little elements. It's a camping theme, so I do want that. There are some browns that you could add as well if you want, and I'm just gonna go here and add more green at the bottom and even on the brown. Doesn't really matter, so on the early espresso. And for the peach, that one though, I'm not going to be adding green. So we got that. This is to give me the time for it to dry a little while we chat. Now today, I'm going to be taking out the big guy. Not the little baby, but the big one. The reason why is I'm doing a die cut in one instance. I'm cutting everything in one shot. So we love that, right? When we could cut. So I'm gonna add this for some greenery, this one as well, a little spaced out. Let's add this one, and in case I need them for something else. This one we'll save for later. This is for my fire, and then this one is for the wood. Like I should be doing some house cleaning right now, just a little bit of house cleaning, and because she collects little dust balls of white hair. So, but I was so obsessed to make this look and technique today that I couldn't stop stamping. So after my live, this lady has to go vacuum the house. Dark floors with a white dog doesn't work. Okay, so we got that. Karen is saying, such a cool technique. Yay, I have somebody that's there. I was like wondering, is there anybody there with me? Okay, perfect. So, and if ever you're catching the replay, you could just say replay. But in one shot, you can make your entire card. So that was kind of fun, right? That we've cut all our pieces and we did all of this in one sheet. I do love the water effect look. If you prefer just stamping every single image, you could do that too. I just love this watercolor effect. So let's grab the pokey here. I'm gonna poke this out. And now I'm just having all my little pieces. You'll notice that these will have to cut. This, Karen, is my element. I love this type of color, neutrals. I'm a neutral girl. I know it was fun yesterday to do the blues cards. Blue is my favorite color, but neutrals to create, to design, to decorate my home, that's what I love. So kind of fun. Okay, so we got all of these. I'm gonna set these aside. So if ever you haven't gotten this bundle yet, I suggest that you get it. It is totally versatile. So good. So good. Now let's do a little bit of surgery. Hello, Joan. So happy you're catching me. See, noon is a lot better. I'm thinking maybe it could be you're at work, it's your lunch break, that sort of thing. Or maybe you're not working and just hanging. Now, if you're in Canada and you order for that $60 with me this week, you'll get a class. All the pieces, not anything stamped though, but you'll get the pieces from me as a freebie. It's called Cards by Mail. And then you'll also get the chance to have either a tutorial in French or in English, depending. It's with a $65 order, so that's kind of fun. So I'm just letting you know. Now I'm using this piece, which is crumb cake. Crumb cake I haven't used in a while, but I just thought it would be perfect for today. And it's a 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. If you're a regular watcher, like you come and see my lives a lot, you know that I'm obsessed with baby note cards. So that is my obsession. I love to make them. And as the week goes on, actually we only have tomorrow, but I do need to continue. You'll see something pretty cute that I have to share. So I'm grabbing my moon here and we're just gonna add it right and cut this part. But I don't know, it's like my obsession. I just love making these little baby cards. I have actually a client that goes into nursing homes and she gives the note cards to them and they are obsessed with that. Like they love the note cards. So then whenever they get some services, like a meal, they'll give the note cards away to the staff. So I found that that was a great idea, right? So we got this piece here. Let me see, I'm in my space upstairs. This lady has 3 spaces. Imagine that, but I have 3 crafting spaces right now. There's one in Regina, which right now, a lot of my designer series paper is there. And I was trying to FaceTime my husband to see what I had there left as designer series paper. He didn't understand the concept. I'm looking for my 6x6 designer series paper. And anyways, we had issues. We did try to do this over FaceTime, but he's not catching what product is what, and that's the current situation. So I had to reorder some. But anyways, 6x3 piece of crumb cake, and then you'll want to score at 3 inches. So that's really your halfway mark, right? Now you can take that craft white pigment ink and just add a little blob right there. For today, I still have my Stampin' chalk marker, so it's gonna go a lot faster. So I'm just gonna go here and add some of that. Now this is for the moon. That's gonna be right going here. So I just wanna see about, yeah. So I'm just gonna add a little more here. But the chalk pigment ink works perfect if you don't have that little marker. Perfect. So this is just gonna go right here. Gonna grab some dimensionals here. And I'm gonna make this sturdy enough. Here we go. And now we're simply gonna add it. Oh my goodness, I'm going super quick. Here we go. Let's reposition this. right on top like this. Now, I could have gone ahead and when I made my original card, I did all my pieces right there before adding them to the card base. But anyways, it is what it is. That's what happens when you work too fast. So you could do that if you want, but I'm just gonna slide my angle cut right here. So what you'll want to make sure is that all your pieces are at 2 3/4. You know what? When I go ahead of myself and I don't plan, this is what happens. So this is just going to sit right on top here. So it's our basic beige mountain. On my original card, I did glue it down directly, but you can pop it up if you want. So I'm going to do one of each, right? One popped up, one glued down. Here we go. So it just stands out like this. Now we're just going to layer a couple of these, like they're like the little mountains in the background, and it doesn't need to be perfect again, like you won't really see that part because we're going to have a piece that's going to go right on top. I just want to do something here. Let me grab something. It's going to be easier for me. So if you want to pre-cut all your pieces at 2 3/4, it's just going to go maybe a little bit better. So if I go here, that's the 2 3/4 mark. I'm just going to snip this one right here. Perfect. So this one is just going to go on top right here. And like I said, it doesn't need to be perfect. I'm going to add some green glue. Just a little bit on the bottom here. If you want, you could use your mini dimensionals if ever you want to pop this up. Perfect. I just added a little dimensional so it's easier for you to see for my inside. Okay, so now we're going with these big ones. Make sure you're popping out all those little holes. Yep, got that little one too. Perfect. I think they're all popped out. Notes are so cute, Joan says. Yes. Do you make your little note cards, or are you like not a fan of note cards? I just find that they're perfect. You want to give with a bouquet of flowers. You want to give with some little cookies. And today with our theme, we're doing s'mores. So you'll get to see my little package with s'mores. So it's kind of fun to use and versatile to use those note cards. This one, I do want to pop it up. So I am going to just pop it like this. I'm filling in the holes where I know that it's not going to see through. So like this spot might be a good one too. Let me just grab a mini dimensional. I love little packages. That's all I can say. So here we go. This one, let's just move it a little bit on the side so we have this part. Look how cute. I don't know if you see, but it's pretty cute. Now we have this one, which adds a little bit of greenery, right? And I'm not too fussy about how long or wide that I want it, so it's just gonna sit right here. Just gonna snip the bottom for a straight trim, because this one, it doesn't die cut the bottom, but you see, it just makes your card perfect for the bottom portion. And now I'm gonna use, here we go, I could just cut this in half. I'm using my bones of my mini glue dots. You know, you can't throw these away. Like I need to throw in that full sheet once it's empty. Here we go. this mini card is going to be so sturdy. So here we go. We have this right here. There you go. And now for the fire camp. It's just going to sit here. I suggest that you use mini glue dots. If you want to use the green glue or multi-purpose glue that we call, you can do that. If you want to pop it up, you could do so. But for the fire pit, I just find that if you add that mini glue dot right there, it just stays properly. So this is how this one is going to go. And then we have our fire. And this one I'm going to pop up. There you have it. How cute is this? Okay, and then I'm just going to take out early espresso and a little scrap piece of crumb cake. And then I'm just going to stamp here. Joan says, do make some to attach to treat bags or wine bottles. Oh, so you are doing those. That's so fun. Or you want me to do some. Here we go. So I'm just cutting the cheer. And I just wanted it to blend with that note card. Now, that's the part that I wanted Chris to check in Regina, because I know I have some plaid. I wanted a little bit off. Maybe here we go. I wanted Chris to check for plaid cardstock, because I do know that I have it, but anyways, I think he didn't know where to look. So I have mini envelopes. If you want, you can make those. I have like piles, so I include them with my classes when I ship my classes to go, so people don't need to make their own. But like, this is really fun to do. So I'm just gonna go with my light mossy green. And because I don't have my plaid paper, I'm just gonna make my own. This is what I want to do. So I'm just going to go sideways. It's a crooked plaid. Karen is saying, so adorable. Lots of dimensions. Wait, Karen. This is just the beginning. Going crazy with my stamping blend today. Perfect. And you'll see it's going to dry, and it just adds that element. So now these are perfect because for tomorrow I need to build my little box of stuff, so it's good that I have more than one. So here's a dimension. You could add as little or as big mini glue dots. One suggestion, like I said, maybe do this like I did for my first card, off site, so you don't need to cut it to 2 3/4 marks, but it does work for both. I'm going to show you this one here with the cute twine. So I use linen thread for this one, so you could just add that little motif. And you know, by the end of the week, I'm going to add a bunch of stuff, maybe a card box. I'm running out of time for this week, but it's kind of fun. Now, I want to show you the little coordinating package. You got to see this. So that was originally when I saw and why I wanted to make this collection. When I used this collection, it was to make it like a camping type of theme. And then I added and made my little packages of s'mores. The kits came with the marshmallows, the graham crackers, and the chocolate. I will confess, I did have some chocolates, so I thought that this would be cute, like in a little basket. It could be like a little theme if you're hosting a party, or it could be a kid's birthday, adults, what's so on, but everybody gets their little treats. So Thought that it would coordinate great, and then you could have that little cheer card that goes with it. So do you want to see how to make this little portion here, where that little box that it sits on, like the top part, it's the same thing as what we just did, but I could just give you the measurements. So I don't know if you're interested. If you are, then I could just show you right now. So you'll want to grab a piece of crumb cake that is 3.5 by 3, and then you will score at the half an inch all on all 4 sides. I made sure to just snip my little ends. So again, 3.5 by 3, and then I just didn't want it too high, because if I went too high, then you wouldn't see the rest of the other things there. So, and then I'm just gonna add that green glue. So it's scored at 1/2 inch on all 4 sides. I love to make little packages. So with the green glue, remember, I always share with you that it's a temporary glue until it dries. So you do have to stay and hold it. Now I've loved this collection so much that I need to do like a class just for this collection, because it's been so good. Go. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit more. I'm taking too much of my time, and now it's not drying. So this lady needs to go get more chocolates, because I have lots of marshmallows left, lots of cookies left, but not lots of chocolates. Okay, so that's pretty simple, right? Now you're gonna do this in layers. Since I have all of these left over and little trees and everything, I'm just missing those 2 larger trees like this. So I'm thinking, and probably this greenery. So I'm just gonna use my leftover. Also, I guess the fire camp. So I guess I am missing a couple of things. So it's kind of fun if you're using half a sheet. I know we always tend to use our scrap pieces, but I'm just saying that it's kind of cool that if you do have that half a sheet, then it's not too late to do multiple cards or multiple mini cards, kits. And like I indicated, I keep them aside. So if I have leftover of these, like I do, then I tend to keep them aside, and then I could reuse them. Or I could also die cut every single piece that I have as an extra. So we don't want to waste, right? I would never throw this in the garbage, just saying. Okay, so I got my fire right here. I know you're just seeing the end, but I don't think you need to see me die cut. So for the judges, it's not because I'm off my sheet, it's just die cutting. So I just want to add all those extra pieces, and it's going to take 2 seconds. There we go. Just want the most important one. Riley's probably thinking, Mommy, you're crafting again. Okay, so I do have them here. We have that little portion. I have to say that these large ones are like my favorite. So I'm curious. Oh, thank you, Nicole. Nicole, I think, lives close to me, right? I think she's in Embrun. I want to say Auburn. Not sure. Russell, maybe? Can't remember. Okay, so at least I utilized pretty much my entire half sheet of basic white cardstock. So, and because I didn't add a lot of water when I initially did my watercolor paper, I didn't even use the thick cardstock. Like I just went with regular basic white cardstock, Of course, Stampin' Up's white cardstock has a great quality, like it's pretty good quality, it's thick and stuff, so it's kind of easy. If you're trying to use a cheap kind, then maybe adding water would not work for you, but I'm just saying, for me it was fine, so, because it's so good. Okay, so now we're gonna add this part first on the inside. Again, if you want to pre-cut, you can. I'm just going to go like this. I'm going to add my green glue, and it's like almost like a picture frame, right? You just want to add to the top part like this. I'm going to stip one little bit here on the side. There we go. So flip it on the side and then just tuck it in right here. So that's our first one. Our second layer comes with the little flower dies that comes with the kit right here. And then for this one, I just used both stamping blends to color. So I just wanted a more popping type of color. So now I'm just going to flip this on the side so you get to see. I'm assuming you wouldn't go do this sideways, but here it is. And then we have the flowers in the background. So you could do the same thing, same technique to build like a frame, which is what I think I'm going to do for part of my class, because when we were in Regina, my husband and I took a trip to Banff. I don't know if you've ever been to Lake Louise or Banff, but it is so pretty. And I have this beautiful photo, so I want to frame it and then just add some of these elements that are part from the Scenic Adventure. So I think that's going to be cute. Now, if you want more dimension, another thing that you can do is add a little dimension actually at the bottom, at the base. So that could be it if ever you want. So if I go like this, now we have a little bit more dimension here. So let's do it this way. And I could go on, I could continue layering, but for myself, I'm just going to do this part and add our fire pit here. Again, using mini glue dots. So having a basket full of these little treats would be kind of fun. Jacqueline is saying love, love, love. Nicole's saying beautiful. I just thought that it would go great to use this stamp set bundle for that purpose. And my fire, I'm gonna use my stamping blend and just add a little bit more in here. So what are your plans for today? Are you going to be crafting today? Is the weather great where you are? Let's add some Wink Estella. That fire needs a lot of sparkle, so let's do that. I would love to know what your plans are. And again, I'm just going to use a mini glue dot. Now I need to go get more chocolate today. I was thinking it's going to be a chill day, that I stay home, maybe make some soup today. I'm a soup girl. I would eat soup all year long, but anyways, that could be it. And then grab any reading from the pack. I'm going to choose Adventure because this is an adventure. And my blocks. And we're going to go with Early Espresso. And I have lots of leftovers, so I'm just going to go here. Karen says that she's on a lunch hour. See, that's why I go live on lunch hour, because it's a great time. Now you don't need to fussy cut And I'm gonna say that when I did do my first one, I was thinking to myself that we could go like this and just add this little tag at the top that says, cheers to another adventure. So that would be fun. I tried both. I do love the simplicity of not adding that extra tag, but it's up to you. You should share, Karen, what your lunch is. Like, I don't know, I've been like crazy going on either sourdough bread or pumpernickel bread and making like these huge vegetarian sandwiches with fresh tomatoes and salad and cucumbers and a little bit of hummus. It's been so good. So good. But with a nice soup, it would be great too. Joan is saying 68 degrees here in Washington. She's going to her grandson's basketball games. That is so fun. I used to play basketball, like competitive, when I was in high school. Now when I try to play with my husband, he always beats me, so. And then any big plans for the weekend? Gone ahead yesterday and bought some IKEA pieces to add to my crafting space downstairs, so I can't wait to organize that. And then unfortunately, one of our, a friend, a Stampin' Up demonstrator, has passed away, and it's her wake, so I'm thinking I'm gonna go see her husband and her daughter. I've never met them in person, but it's just like I feel like because she's close to me. I really was upset when I saw that she had passed away from cancer, so I am going to do that on Saturday. So the adventure part's going to just go and tuck here. Now you could put it on your little baggie. If ever you want to know the measurements of my little bags, I could share. They are Stampin' Up bags that I had from way back, and I just thought of using it. But this is actually the little content. And if you're wondering, what did I use? It's the basic beige ribbon for the top. So I love the color combination today of basic beige, old olive, mossy meadow, early espresso, and peach pie. Old olive I added to my little flowers here. Like I said, when you're doing the watercolor technique, if you add old olive, what it does is it makes it that your paper will turn a little bit more yellow. So I wanted to avoid that, and that's why I did the mossy meadow instead for the green one. So I hope you've liked this little project today. It was kind of simple. Joan is saying also she's doing F1 and going to Brad Pitt movie on Saturday. Now this is turning into a huge collection that I can't even fill all here. I don't even have enough space, but you get the point, right? So today I'm going to be sharing on my blog, KimMcGillis.com, this technique. I might retweak the video. I was thinking about it just to redo it when I'm like not pressured or anything like that. So I guess you get to see the proper steps, but it did work out, but it's just that it was a bit of a glitch. So I want to do that. And then tomorrow you will see this post, and I'm going to continue building with this collection. But that's pretty good that you get to see most of the cards there because there's so many. But you see the versatility of this entire collection. So Leanna's saying she's loving it all. It's encouraging her to get that set. Karen says, thank you, Kim. The projects are so beautiful. Now, Karen, you could go ahead and have your dessert, right? And yeah, so we will see each other tomorrow at noon so I can continue sharing one last project for my lives featuring this collection. If you're catching the replay, please say hello. If you've loved this little video, I know it was kind of brief. Please put little likes and comments. I appreciate you. Enjoy your day. Leanna's saying she loves the scenery stamps. It's kind of cool, right? I think it's a first for me to create and design with a scenery stamp like that. Like it's not my thing normally, but kind of fun. Maybe if we put this way so then you get to see a little bit more cards. I wish I could stamp with you all day. Anyways, I will tag all the products used. Enjoy your day, everyone. Bye-bye.